So if you're like most people, you probably think that, typical athletic injuries are unavoidable. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just kind of a fluke. Some cases that is true, right? If someone gets blindsided and they're tackled and they have their foot planted, their knee is hit, yeah, there's a much, much, much greater chance that person is going to be severely injured. However, a lot of the injuries that athletes suffer from are not that type of just weird fluke type of a scenario. It's usually the worst injuries occur towards the last half of the game or the last quarter or period of the game. The reason is because the body starts to get tired. Not only does the body get tired, which is why coaches push conditioning so hard. One is so that they can achieve victory, but two, so that the athletes are able to withstand the stresses of the game at that point, because you start to get, your body starts to break down. I know as an avid snowboarder, I always had the most difficult times, and I had to be the most cautious towards the end of the day. One, the ice starts to get a little bit, or the snow starts to get a little bit icy, which makes for worse conditions, but layer that on top of the fact that, starting to get a little bit of wobbly legs in there and not able to control myself the same way that I did in the beginning. You don't have fresh legs. So that will set you up for injury. And you just go, oh yeah, well you're fatigued. Well, a lot of fatigue actually happens at the nervous system level. We don't think about it that much. We think muscles and strength and coordination and all that. We don't think about how tight in the nervous system is. And it is 100% tight in. That's all it really comes down to. In fact, if you actually cut a nerve going to a muscle, within 2 days, you can take a person who's got arms like a bodybuilder and it will look like your grandmother's. Not even joking. That muscle will atrophy right away because it's not getting the nerve supply from the brain to that muscle. Even if it has the blood supply and the nutrients going to it, it's the brain that keeps that muscle integrity there. So this is not new news whatsoever. It's just something that most people don't think about. What is so cool is that when people start coming in, they get chiropractic adjustments the way that we do it here. We use neurologically based chiropractic technique, which is a big mouthful for saying that we pay attention to how the brain and the body are connected up, so that your muscles and your joints can be under proper coordination to have high demands placed on it, yet still perform. Because there is this constant feedback that is happening from your body to your brain, to your brain to your body. And we understand it how you can improve hand-eye coordination. All right? The more practice and repetition you get in, your hand-eye coordination gets better, your timing gets better. All of that is happening in the brain. That is all brain, but it's brain to the body so that we can time it. You can have the proper timing to pull it off. How do you stabilize you don't have to think about it really. You don't have to think about the things I'm about to say. Like, how do you stabilize if you're a batter and you're about to hit a ball? You don't have to think about, okay, I'm stepping, I have to stabilize my core, I got to make sure that all the muscles in my spine and my legs and my trunk muscles and my leg muscles are all tightening up at the right spot. I have to contract my glute muscles and my calves have to be contracted at the right time. No. It happens instinctually over repetition of being in that environment. What we do is we basically get to hack into your body. We see, hey, there's got to be there almost always is a disconnect at some point from your brain sending signals to your muscles and cells and joints in your body. And if that breakdown happens to occur, you still might be performing very well. But if there's a breakdown and there's messages being lost, then that means that you're definitely not working at your optimal. You're not working at peak performance. That means that you have potential that's laying idly aside, just waiting to be harnessed. And when you can connect up to that, you'll literally have massive breakthroughs. On the injury side of things, this equates to that at the end of the game, you're still getting feedback, the proper feedback from your brain to your joints, so that now when you're running, say you're a running back and you're about to make that juke and you step and you kind of have that spot that there's a divot in the earth, and then you step in it and your ankle starts to get turned. You get that feedback that goes immediately to your brain that says, whoa, if we keep going here, we're going to roll our ankle. And you tighten it up, and now you protect it, just like you would if your legs were fresh. And that can happen at the end of the game because we're keeping those feedback signals from like, whoop, about to roll my ankle. And your body says, nope, no, we're not. We're going to tighten up that muscle. We're going to stabilize it. And that is the key to injury prevention. And the same thing if you're in a throwing sport, or you're in a running sport, or you're in a cycling sport. There's different types of injuries that face different athletes, obviously, because every athlete or every sport is completely different, the demands it places on the body. But how the injuries are come about are usually always the same. And it's that breakdown in communication, especially as the brain begins to fatigue out. So that can be improved. And in fact, your tolerance and your brain stamina can actually be improved through chiropractic care as well, because when you're getting proper feedback from your body up to your brain, it literally acts like a charging station. And that information coming from your body is charging up your brain. Your brain is using that information. It is raising your threshold, meaning it's raising your capacity to recover. Your ability to recover is better, and your ability to recover is faster. And as most athletes know, all good trainers know today, that your capacity to recover is more important than the exercise that you're doing to try to improve it in the first place, or to improve your sport or your technique or whatever. Your ability to recover is everything. Chiropractic care is helping you to recover your brain and also to improve that connection. So it just helps you to have peak performance as well as protecting you from injury all at the same time. So if you guys are a competitive athlete, or you have kids that are in athletics, and you know that their performance is, I don't even care if your kid's performance is great or your performance you think is great, and you're not getting chiropractic care, you absolutely are doing yourself a disservice if you're not getting adjusted and you're not getting reconnected. And not all chiropractic's the same, you guys. If you're going in and they're rubbing you down with massage, and they're doing e-stim and electrical buzzing and this, that, stretching you, doing all that kind of stuff, yeah, that might feel great. You feel like you're getting really worked over, but they're doing you a huge disservice, because they're not actually working to reconnect your brain and your body. Or if they're cracking every joint in your body, it might feel good. You think you're getting worked over. Again, it's another disservice. You will make, and there's a lot of reasons why our top athletes actually don't go to their chiropractor in the training room. They actually seek outside chiropractors, and they'll pay for it out of pocket. Even though they have access to one that's free, that's right there, is because they're usually not doing the right types of things that are going to improve that performance. So I highly encourage you guys, if you're competitive, or you're serious, or even you're just a weekend warrior, you need to start getting adjusted. It's going to be really cool. You're going to see your performance rise. You're going to notice that your body feels stronger for longer, that you're going to be at less risk for injuries. And when you do tweak something, and sometimes it happens, it's still inevitable. No one's perfect, right? We've been through a lot of stress on our bodies, but even when that happens, you're going to recover from those injuries so much faster and get back out there. So I hope you have an awesome day, and we'd love to see you in the office.